Nothing here in the forest suggests that today is the day. There is no sign of the trouble brewing. And the wolf with golden eyes, does he know what's to come? The pack scours the undergrowth, where it's been camped out for a few days. They look for treats to tide them over until the next hunt. Some dormice or voles. The wolf with golden eyes is 2 years old. He was born into this pack and grew up with it. But this morning, he decides that it's time to make a big move. He approaches the remains of yesterday's meal, casually, and ignores the leader of the pack, the alpha male with the black mask. He helps himself first, breaking protocol. Only the alpha male decides when the pack may eat. His subordinates intervene, but it's up to him to settle the score. Now it's Black Mask versus Golden Eyes. The young wolf lowers his tail. He gambled and lost. By challenging the alpha this way, he was making it known that he was a worthy replacement. But from now on, it's exile for him. Returning would be a death sentence. Here in the forest, a chapter is closing. But another is already taking shape. It's the story of the wolf with golden eyes, Slava. A lone wolf seeking a new pack. He will cross all of Europe, from Romania all the way to Spain. But what will this amazing journey cost him? If he is left alone, he will die. Will he be accepted by another pack? And how will he forge a path between the two deeply clashing worlds? Civilization on one side and wildlife on the other. Who will his enemies be? And who will listen to his call? The call to peace between nature and mankind. The call brought to us by Slava, the wolf with golden eyes. Who can really say what goes on in the minds of wolves? But if we're making assumptions, it's safe to say that Slava is one audacious youngster. He failed to overthrow the alpha male, but he knows he can make it on his own. No more taking orders from the leader of the pack. Only he will decide where to go and when to move. Slava is what scientists call a disperser. Dispersion is that powerful urge driving certain young to abandon their groups. When it's time for Slava to leave, he does so instinctively, without knowing why. Science explains it simply. Dispersion prevents inbreeding within wolf packs. It permits motivated youngsters to gain an inconceivable privilege, one that only alpha wolves possess: the right to reproduce. Slava was born in a Romanian forest near Brașov. For young wolves, leaving the pack is a dangerous gamble. Most dispersers die in exile, a fact Slava is unaware of. His only concern of the day are the odors here, because wolves use their finely honed sense of smell to track their prey. Despite his hunger pangs, he's put off by the badger's stench. It's a definite no to this meal. Slava catches a whiff of a vole that was here within the hour. With 40 times more olfactory neurons than we have, his sense of smell is so acute that he can read the forests like an open book. Strange path. Unusual odor. Far too much racket. Slava has never heard such a noisy animal. "5 days on the trail, and 200 kilometers lie between him and his former pack. He's now entering unknown territory, but his needs are the same: hunt and eat. Slava has eaten nothing since his departure. Upwind is a doe that would typically take a group to bring down. Slava is alone, but he's famished. So, he'll take his chances. Who is this predator so powerful that it can fell its prey with a single blow, but won't take it with him? He hasn't a clue, but Slava flees this blaring beast with fear in his belly. It's a belly far too empty for a carnivore in need of calories. Today, Slava still hasn't secured the 2 kilos of meat he needs daily to survive. The young wolf is exhausted. He sleeps to conserve energy. Tomorrow, without fail, he'll need to find food. Or else. When prey is scarce, why not freeload? To avoid conflict, a brown bear will sometimes allow a wolf pack to share in its spoils. But to this one, a lone wolf, weak with hunger, is no more threatening than a mosquito. Slava knows that he's outmatched, but he has to take a risk. Slava soon realizes that, without his pack, he has zero clout. He'll have to settle for small prey. Field mice or weasels, some fruit and vegetation. Meager fare for a predator. So he's low on fuel as he follows the tree line down towards southwest Romania. Legend has it that wild horses once helped a wolf with golden eyes find his way by pointing him in the right direction. Always the high road. Watching them trotting along together, the lone wolf grasps the moral of the story. that whether you're part of a wolf pack or herd of horses, there's strength in numbers. At some point in their journeys, dispersers like Slava know instinctively that survival depends entirely on rejoining a pack. With renewed purpose, Slava keeps going. He'll find himself a new clan. Light on his feet, he moves quickly in near silence. Evolutionary adaptations over time lengthened his ancestors' limbs. Their necks also became longer, the better to track scents. Over the course of 40 million years, the wolf's body grew longer and lost its retractable claws, unlike felines, which kept them. Catching prey without claws is awkward, so wolves came up with the group hunt. Slava continues to look for scent markers, urine or scat, signs that indicate the presence of other wolves. Without them, he'll never get enough to eat. Without them, he will die. When you're ravenous, any meal will do. But prickly creatures are, by nature, tough to approach. Summer ends and autumn leaves fall. And Slava is still here. How has he survived 6 months on the highways of Romania? He's discovered a bit about this strange new world. A bizarre place where birds don't fly. No longer on home turf, he's learned how to raid others to feed himself. So far, he's been lucky enough to avoid those he's stealing from. At long last, the big day arrives. This morning, Slava is leaving the Romanian forest. Today he heads down to the plains. It's his first encounter with creatures that exhibit some strange behavior. Slava is puzzled. The wild prey that evolved with wolves bolt when they see predators. But these are apparently docile animals, domesticated by another creature unknown to Slava. One that walks upright. Reflected in their eyes are thousands of years of conflict and innate mutual fear. Slava is out of there. In today's Romania, a wolf's presence may be unwelcome, but it's no big deal. Little by little, Slava learns about life here on the plains. There are sounds he's never heard. And let's not forget about those two-legged creatures. Like all wolves, Slava is an opportunist. To survive, he'll overcome even his deepest fears. Though maybe not during the day. Nighttime is wiser. Hungry wolves won't hesitate to become scavengers. Their flexible behavior has enabled them to survive even the toughest times of their evolutionary history. Slava surely has what it takes to adapt to new environments. But what wolf can survive in places where forests are disappearing? Where the air is so foul that it can kill. In Romania, as elsewhere, industrial wastelands are rarely restored to their natural states. But even here, Slava scrounges for something to eat, until curiosity gets the better of him. One careless choice, and he's trapped in a factory. While, ironically, we humans are held captive in a world of vanishing wilderness. But Slava soon finds a way out. He never gives up. He's up for any challenge, and today's was hardly the least of them. Slava looks down on the Danube. During his exile, the young wolf has traveled more than 500 kilometers and has now arrived at the Serbian border. He finds a bridge and crosses the big river. And he finds himself in a place where he can breathe. Slava has happened upon a Serbian nature reserve. Suddenly, there are unfamiliar scents. A lynx. Clearly not into sharing. But further on, there are other smells he knows by heart. In the underbrush, at last, a wolf pack. After everything he's been through, Slava has become humbler, ready to submit to authority. He spots the alpha male. Slava's posture says he's not trying to take his place. He just wants to be a part of the clan. Request denied. There's enough food here to feed the pack, but not to share with even one more wolf. Alone on the road for 7 months now, Slava has become a master vole hunter. Modest prey for a wolf, but vital for his survival. The roaring of the stags will soon come to a close, heralding winter's arrival. Slava sets out to storm the mountains of Serbia, still very much alive, at least for now. Because braving the winter alone is a nearly impossible feat. But this morning, a chance encounter will change everything. A crow hidden nearby caws loudly, capturing Slava's attention. The young wolf has gained a kilo or so of winter coat, insulation so perfect that it won't melt the snow. Others stay warm as best they can. The vibrations in the ground are hard to ignore. It's someone's unlucky day. That crow is really annoying. Slava finally decides to see what all the cawing is about. It's a bunch of crows, feasting on a meal a whole lot heartier than rodents. A wild boar. Enough food to help Slava create energy reserves for the winter. A number of studies have shown that wolves and crows can, indeed, work together. And this crow is clearly inviting Slava to become his partner. With his bird's eye view, he can guide Slava to prey he can't kill himself, but on which he can dine once the wolf has done his job. Slava is no longer alone. He howls with delight that two can be a pack, even if it's fanged and feathered. He invites the crow to share his territory, which he marks with urine and with his personal signature. The pheromones he disperses through the scent glands between the toes of his feet. But the beginning of any relationship is a balancing act. They have to get to know each other. The crow tests Slava, leading him to his favorite prey, a stag. But Slava's not the brash youngster he once was. The deer's enormous antlers could kill him. Find something smaller, please. Really? From his new perch, the crow points Slava toward more accessible prey. What a mouth-watering sight. Slava knows that this time, he's got this. For a while, the lone wolf seems to enjoy life, now that he's in good company. But after a few weeks, he realizes that what he's really missing is the company of wolves. He howls, hoping other displaced wolves will answer his call. Plaintive cries that pierce the winter silence. But the absence of wolves in the area is a relief to other forest dwellers. The first thaw arrives. Now Slava can explore Serbia's nature reserves. Through the end of winter, he's on the move. Through 9, 10, and finally 11 months of exile. Suddenly, one day, everything feels different. Spring explodes across the park. Everyone's hungry, especially the new hatchlings. Hungry for food, but also for sights, smells, and the feel of life renewed. It's been a full year since Slava hit the road. He's leaner, but as determined as ever to survive, embracing the new season with confidence. And how he crosses the border between Serbia and Bosnia, making his way through nature reserves, up mountains and across forests. He arrives in Croatia. He's already logged more than 1,000 kilometers. Slava's long and remote dispersion is exceptional. One day he settles somewhere, only to get right back on the road. This seems to go on endlessly, until one day he is forced to interrupt his journey. Today, he's a bit startled, not hurt. But poachers are common in this area, so danger is never far. This is also the day that Slava's companion decides to bow out. To respect the rites of spring, the crow must fly to find a mate. It's time they go their separate ways. He's alone again. From Croatia, it's another 200 kilometers to Slovenia. moves on to Austria, and finally Italy. 400 more. At the end of spring, Slava arrives on the banks of Europe's last wild river, the Tagliamento. And there, at last, another wolf. Well, not just any wolf. It's a female, all alone, without a pack, just like him. He's careful not to look her in the eye. Wolves consider direct eye contact a sign of aggression. On the other hand, there's no harm in showing off their fishing skills and bonding over a tasty meal. This is how the king of the vole hunters will court the queen of the trout fishers. This is what Slava has been longing for. The joyful howls are all about togetherness. Not only has he found his wolf pack, but also his mate. Like all wolves, Slava will mate for life. Before taking his leave, Slava's old friend introduces the wolves to his own new fiancée. It's a chance for the crow to give his friend some final advice. The riverbanks are no place for a wolf. He must move on again. Wolves thrive in the forest because the prey they depend on for survival also live there. And now Slava has backup. Convincing others to cede the fruits of their labors is much easier as a team. The bear tries to salvage what he can, but finally gives up. Slava is still in battle mode. The adrenaline rush will soon subside. But at a primal level, something inside him has awakened, and he's changing. It's pure instinct that impels him to take the lead, guiding his mate toward the Alps. Together, they cross Italy. They follow a path Italian wolves used more than 20 years ago to travel to France, where their species would disappear. Slava and his partner have now arrived in France. They carry within a drive that all wolves share, to conquer new territories. It's time to look for food. Today, it's the female that goes hunting. Slava continues to explore their new surroundings. A barking dog puts Slava on high alert. rousing instincts dormant until now. He'll do whatever it takes to protect his mate. Calmly, he evaluates the threat. And when it persists, he attacks, without wasting too much energy. Something has changed in Slava. He's now the one protecting his pack, deciding where to go, when to move on, who to hunt. Slava has become an alpha male. And today, a little lamb could be tempting. As several studies show, all wolves, including Slava and his mate, prefer wild over domesticated prey. The kind of prey they can chase just like their ancestors did. Hopefully, enough wild prey still survive. As natural habitats are lost to development, today's top predators face an uphill battle to find food and living space. Like all wolves, Slava will adapt. Evolution didn't plan for herds, always out in the open and slow to run. It's their short legs that ensure they'll always stay docile. By tending to their animals, human beings tampered with evolution. But as times change, pastoralism is becoming a lost, if still necessary, art, one worth keeping alive. The resurgence of wolves can be catastrophic for small farmers. For Slava and his mate, so is going without food. Shepherds love their animals, and the meadows are made for sheep. But what would it be like to live in a world where only tame creatures exist? It goes without saying that a shepherd who loves his animals will do anything to protect them.
T'as pas assez mangé? Fous le camp et laisse-moi tranquille!
You haven't eaten enough? Get out of here and leave me alone. But that night, he looked into the wolf's golden eyes. A look that made him believe that if there's a will, there'll be a way for creatures to live in harmony one day. And the reality is, wolves aren't about to leave the land they're in the process of reclaiming. Slava and his mate continue to travel the French Alps, searching for a home full of wild prey. This nature reserve seems perfect. But apparently, it's already occupied by a wolf pack with a litter. There's ample prey here. Without it, the alpha male and his mate would never have produced cubs. But are they willing to share with two more wolves? Slava is an untested leader. The other seems more battle-hardened. Slava is losing ground. Even though he knows the drill, expose your fangs, the better to ward off intruders. But other trespassers are coming. The pack scatters. The alpha male heads straight for the hunters. Slava and his mate take off in the opposite direction. It's not their job to protect this litter. A very young wolf with his tail tucked low has followed them. Slava doesn't know him, but he understands what he wants. To join a pack, just like he wanted to more than a year ago. But will this wolf be a threat? The youngster crouches low to show his submission. All he wants is to be part of Slava's pack. and Slava accepts him. Wolves howl together to declare their solidarity and to identify every voice. They howl to let other packs know that they're strong, now that they are three. And as three, they can make the forest come alive with the sounds of their joyful stampede. It's the kind of music that celebrates an untamed world. Of course, some wouldn't mind if wolves disappeared for good. Aside from hunters, there's nothing much here to interfere with the cushy lifestyle of wild boars. Their daily ablutions, spa baths, and massage therapy. This one takes a while to grasp that there's trouble in paradise. The deadly bite is so violent that prey sometimes die of cardiac arrest. In this area, game seems to be everywhere. And after 2,000 kilometers on the road, Slava may finally have found sanctuary, here in Provence. The wolves howl to make sure no other pack has already claimed this territory. No one howls back. So, It's decided. This is where Slava will settle his pack. "300 years ago, wolves were the most widespread predator on Earth. But they were hunted to near extinction. They're now a protected species in most of the Western world. But they're not welcome here. In France, when breeders report losses due to wolves, the law permits them to kill 40 of them. A land at war with the wild is no home for a wolf. But where to go now? Get there. Beyond the meadows, where men guard flocks of sheep, there are other fences for a different kind of herd. Slava leads his pack. His newest recruit is terrified. But Slava's not leaving anyone behind. The band of three manages to reach Mercantour National Park. Throughout his journey, Slava has navigated two vastly opposing worlds. Nature reserves on one hand, and on the other, a land choked by industrial development. A year after leaving Romania, Slava reaches Fos-sur-Mer. From there, he'll arrive at the Camargue. Little by little, like other wolves, Slava is reclaiming land from which he was once banished by man. "15,000 wolves now live in Europe, their very existence a symbol of wildlife's resilience. Slava himself is living proof." The three wolves could easily bring down a bull. But not if anyone here can help it. Slava could be stopped by dogs, or electric fences, or holding pens, or by these wranglers.
Hey!
Slava's journey shows that it's possible to protect ourselves from wolves without killing them. But accidents happen. It's the end of the road for the young male wolf. 80% of wolves in dispersion die as a result of human activity. Slava and his mate steal into a village. They scavenge the trash for food, because hunting without their companion is only hit or miss. Where is the exit? From one village to the next, one town to the next. With all this concrete, how is he meant to find a bit of forest again? Slava finally finds a way out. He reaches the Pyrenees. He follows the mountain ridge until he reaches Spain. It's here, in the Cantabrian Mountains, that Slava would finally make his home. Stories like Slava's illustrate the need for environmental safeguards. Protective measures such as wildlife corridors, a network of pathways allowing animals to move from one habitat to another, away from the traps of civilization. Slava probably settled in Spain because game was abundant, and humans and wildlife there found ways to coexist. Some sheep farmers now opt for smaller flocks, easier to keep an eye on. Here and elsewhere in the world, there are human beings who see the wisdom of sharing our common space. In the forest, life is flourishing. Slava and his mate have had their first litter. When they're grown, some of their young will stay with the pack and help them raise the next litter. Others will be fearless enough to seek the right to reproduce. Those will be the strongest, the most daring. And one day, like Slava, they'll risk it all and break away. Slava has chosen to stay and occupy the territory he has found in the Cantabrian Mountains. He will father several litters. Who knows? Maybe one day his descendants will follow the opposite path. Their instinct could push them to leave Spain and explore Italy, or maybe even Romania. In any case, for humans and wildlife to live in harmony, a world of new ambassadors is here. All thanks to the wolf with golden eyes.